The escrow are the monies that are placed for deposits, and they may be right when the contract's signed, and then there may be additional deposits depending on different thresholds that kick in. So you have a purchase price of just, let's take the price of $200,000, and let's say that the deposit to be paid upon the execution of the contract or within so many days of the execution of the contract is 10%. So the prospective purchaser is going to have to pay $20,000 to whoever is holding the escrow, who has a fiduciary duty to both parties to hold that money and not to release it until certain conditions kick in, and hopefully that condition is the closing, and that's when the deposit is actually released to the seller. Then there may be, once there's an inspection that's completed, or there may be another date that's put in, like with another 30 days, another $10,000 paid. So there may be tiered deposits, so there may be more than one. A lot of times in commercial real estate sales, there are multiple deposits based on the due diligence that's done by the prospective purchaser, and those monies can only be released to the seller under certain circumstances, and then they can only be returned if the deal doesn't go through to the prospective purchaser under certain circumstances. And the contract and the law basically spells out under what conditions the escrow can be released, or the monies that are held in escrow. The prepaid expenses usually refer to something a little bit different. Typically those apply when you have financing, where the purchaser is financing all or a portion of the purchase price. And so the prepaid expenses that would be required by a mortgage company would be the taxes to be prepaid, to have property and casualty insurance to be prepaid, and if the amount that is being borrowed is over, typically it's 80% of the purchase price, or the appraised price, depending on the mortgagee that you're dealing with, then they would require private mortgage insurance. And so that's another prepaid expenses. So those are usually identified with the financing, and those are prices or expenses, excuse me, that would have to be prepaid by the prospective purchaser.